Making an NFL roster is very difficult to do as there is only 53 slots available, and one of those went to an undrafted free agent, and we will talk about that in just a second, and that is a very uphill battle as it stands. Making the roster as a draft pick. There were some draft picks by the Cardinals this year that didn't make the roster. Some of them are on our practice squad, but some of them flat out just did not make it. So to make it as an undrafted free agent, to go to the 7th round, not get selected, and then end up making the final 53 is not something we should overlook. This is an insane accomplishment for Xavier Weaver, so shout out to you. And real quick before we dive into what I had to say, this is what wide receiver Michael Wilson, fellow receiver in the room, had to say. He's not surprised that Weaver made it, so we're gonna go ahead and roll this right now.
Not a surprise at all. Yeah, definitely not a surprise that he made it. And also kudos to him because he was hurt most of OTAs, not able to participate a large majority of it. So he really shined bright. Like every single practice, he had some type of wow play. And I think every preseason game, he made some type of catch, some type of run. He contributed to the game in some type of way that made you go like, wow, this kid can play. And he was doing it against starters, against some of our good corners on our team too. So it's absolutely no surprise that he made the 53, and I think he's going to be a really special player, like as long as he continues to tread on the track he's at right now.
And Michael Wilson hit that spot on, man. Every time the guy got in the game, he was making a wow play. Like, that is not an understatement. I went to almost every single Cardinals training camp, and I can attest to this. I'll probably roll a couple of these right here, but Xavier Weaver was making catch after catch, crazy body adjustment, crazy catch, contested catch. Then he even had this one in preseason, which I think solidified his roster spot. It was just wow play after wow play, and you gotta give kudos where kudos is due. This was such an uphill battle to begin with, and he deserves this. He's not the only one that thinks that as well. Here's what Jonathan Gannon, head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, had to say as well about Xavier Weaver making the roster.
Keep improving his game, Bo. You know what I mean? Obviously, you guys saw, he flashed in practice and games. I like where he's at. He has a skill set that's pretty unique. He can play on 4th down as well, which that went into that decision. And when you look at the totality of the NFL, like, we wanted to make sure we kept him. He's got a bright future ahead if he keeps doing the things that he's been doing.
Just absolute praise from Jonathan Gannon and Michael Wilson, and he deserves this. Like, the roster spot and all the praise. Like, the guy is an insane ball player. The Arizona Cardinals ended up rostering 6 receivers, 1 being Marvin Harrison Jr., 2 Michael Wilson, 3 Greg Dortch, and then after 3, it is very interesting with Zay Jones suspended, but they ended up rocking with Zach Pascal and Chris Moore, who's Xavier Weaver was in contention with. Then you could throw names like Dan Chisnia, who had a fantastic game 1. You had Tajon Palmer. So Xavier Weaver's road to this was not easy, but I always thought that if they kept 6, it would be the 2 veterans, Chris Moore and Zach Pascal, especially with Zay Jones getting suspended. And if they did roster as 6, it should be Xavier Weaver. That's what I thought. And it was. Shout out to him. His story is kind of crazy. Going to South Florida, where he started back in 2019 his collegiate career. He went from 2019 to 22, 4 years at South Florida. And his stats weren't anything insane until he got to his junior year, where he really started to get some playing time. He totaled 715 yards and then 718 his junior year. Technically 2 of those. But Weaver shined late in those last 2 seasons, but it was on to bigger and better things as he was looking to move to a better conference. This is his time to really make a name for himself. So we got a crack in 2023 to go to Colorado to play with Deion Sanders, and oh boy, did he make a name for himself. 908 yards and 4 touchdowns in the Pac-12 in just 11 games, totaling 68 receptions, and he also had 2 rushing touchdowns as well, so that is 6 total touchdowns. And he kind of shined late, which is kind of why he went undrafted, but the talent was there. The Arizona Cardinals saw enough and picked him up. So when Weaver got that chance, he was hurt in OTAs, like Michael Wilson said, and never really had the opportunity to showcase himself until the live reps got to go. As soon as he was active, he made play after play, and when the preseason, he had 6 receptions on 11 targets, 95 yards, 0 touchdowns, but you could just see when the ball was thrown to him, 11 targets, 6 receptions, he would make plays. And then he also had that crazy post too, as you guys saw, with great control and great hands, able to come down with that, and that is a play that I really think solidified him a roster spot. I can't give him enough praise. Like, Xavier Weaver going from undrafted free agent to final 53, that is absolutely insane. I am so happy to see him on the roster. I think he absolutely deserves deserved it. Cardinals fans, I know you guys feel the same way. I have been reading the comments. Everyone loves this guy, and it's hard not to because he does all the right things, and on the field, he just makes play after play. Can't wait to see what he does in the regular season. I think he will be a special teams guy as well because he is wide receiver 6. He's probably going to have to play both. Not going to roster you if you don't have impact, and I think Weaver is ready to make impact whenever his name is called upon, and I cannot wait to see his production on the field this season. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Let me know down in the comment section below how you guys are feeling about Xavier Weaver. Are you guys pumped up? I know a lot of you guys are, and if you guys are new to the channel and ended up enjoying today's video, man, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content, so if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.